Hey everybody, it's Eric here, and as you can see by the title of the video, today I will be talking about link monsters. So in this video I will be basically teaching you guys some stuff about links, and also talking about my personal opinions on link monsters, the structure deck, and possibly what could be meta relevant leading into the entire new era. I guess we call it the brains era. Everyone's calling link format, but a format only lasts until the next ban list, and links will be around for basically into the end of Yu-Gi-Oh! So I'm mainly going to be calling it like how I did with the pendulum stuff, naming it after the anime, which is Reigns. So this entire series is I'm going to call it the Reigns era. Anyway, before we get talking about the link monsters themselves, we need to talk about the new field and rules and stuff. So, my mat doesn't show it. My map doesn't have this is an old map before the 5 era started, so it doesn't have the pendulum zones in them. But the new field now goes back to looking more like this, except it has 2 new zones. Well, 2 new zones have been added. Those being, the extra monster zones. Also, you guys might be wondering where the pendulum zones got moved. They got moved down here into the spell and trap zones. So, let me try to zoom out a bit. Can I? No, that's all I can zoom out from. So, if you want to play pendulums, I don't know, let me just put these 2 guys in the scales. See, so, you can still play, so as you see, if you play pendulums and you set up your scales, you can only have a limit of 3 spells and traps. So, so just something you know if you want to continue playing pendulums. Hold up. I just need to move some stuff around. Okay. So, here's the big major rule change. Now, this zone is now called the main monster zone or the normal monster zone, and this is called the extra monster zone. The reason this is called the normal monster zone now is that now extra deck monsters can only be summoned in the extra monster zone. And by hearing that, basically, you can only have 1 extra deck monster out at a time. But you see that there's 2 zones, so you're probably wondering, can I just summon something in both of them? Unfortunately, you can't, because once you summon something in one of them, the other one becomes your opponent's. And that's like the big major rule change. But these new monsters called links help you bring out more than just 1 extra monster at a time. So, let's check out these new link cards, shall we? Oops. So, in the Link Strike starter deck, it comes with 3 link monsters: Honeybot, Decode Talker, the main guy, and Link Spider. We will be looking at Decode Talker for the moment, because he's the main guy, and he was the first link monster ever shown. So, as you see here, unfortunately my bad lighting, link monsters have no level or rank. They also don't have any defense points. They only have this link number here. Since they don't have any defense points, they cannot be placed in defense mode, and they cannot be flipped face down. So any card like Book of Moon that targets them or Quake and Mirror Force won't affect them. Also, cards like Sword and Shield, which switches attack and defense, won't affect them because they don't have any defense. So, yeah. You also see that they have these arrows around them. And those are a total of 8. Yeah, 8 around them, pointing like up, pointing 3 directions up, 1 to the left, 1 to the right, and then 3 directions down. These arrows indicate where you can summon out more monsters. But before I get into that, I should really teach you about how to summon a link monster. If you don't know already, link monsters are summoned by sending monsters on your field to the graveyard. Let me bring out some monsters. Okay, let me move these guys out of the way. So say you have to summon the Code Talker, you need to look at the link number. The Code Talker says 3, so you need 3 monsters, 3 effect monsters as he needs to summon him out. So you have your Link Slayer, your Draconet, and your Ram Cloud on the field. And then you send them all to the graveyard to bring out your Decode Talker in either the right extra zone or the left extra zone. Another thing about Link monsters is that you can also, you can also use Link monsters themselves to Link summon. As you see here, Honeybot has a Link 2. That means she will count as 2 monsters when using her for a Link summon. Say you have Draconet and Honeybot in the field, like have them right there. You can send them both to the graveyard and bring out 2 plus 1 is 3. So simple enough. So now to talk about these arrows attached to the monsters themselves. Each of these arrows will point to another monster zone. Like we'll use Decode Talker as an example right now. So you see that he points bottom left to the bottom left and bottom right, and to the top. So in his we'll just use this as an example. That's the extra monster zone. This is the main monster zone. So he will point to your opponent's side of the field and in 2 of your zones. So in these zones, you can bring out extra deck monsters. Any extra deck monsters you want, as long as they're in the zones. But yeah. And link monsters in the zones that they're linked to allows them to have effects. So let's get into the effect of Decode Talker right now. His effect is that he gains 500 attack for each monster that it points to. So right now he's like pointing to Castell and Timestar Magician, and he can even point to your into one of your opponent monsters if he puts them there. His secondary effect is that you can tribute off any monster that he's linked to negate an activation of a card. Unfortunately, what I learned is that, you can't tribute off your opponent's monster, which I thought you could have, but whatever, I guess. Would have been cool if you did. But yeah. And then, I think since we started talking about the effects and all, we should really get into talking about the other Link monsters that you have. So let's talk about Link Spider first, because he's an easy card to talk about. He's a Link 1, so you only need 1 monster, and the monster that he needs is a normal monster. He also points directly down. And once per turn, you can special summon a level 4 or lower monster from your hand to the zone right here. So he can be a quick, easy Link summon to have, so you can place another Link monster or another extra deck monster there in the zone. Simple as that. Honeybot here takes 2 Cyburst monsters. If you don't know what Cyburst monsters are, they are the new type of monster introduced in this extra deck, in this starter deck. And with Honeybot's effect, you see that she points to the left and that she points to the right. So it'd be better if you put Decode Talker or Link Spider in your X monster zone, and then have it down in another zone. Like say we have Decode Talker up there. He lets you summon here and here. So then you can bring out Honeybot in the middle zone And so then you have another zone and this zone too. You get 2 new zones. So now you can bring out 3 monsters from the extra deck now. And she has a cool effect is that monsters that she's linked to cannot be destroyed. What does it say? Oh, monsters that she's linked to cannot be destroyed by battle and cannot be targeted by effects. This also means your effects, so if you have like an equip spell or something, you can't equip it to those monsters. Anyway, these are the 3 link monsters that we will be having until the Code of the Duelist is what I think it's called, comes out. And I think it comes out in about a week or so. So yeah, I say these are good introductory link monsters, especially Decode Talker and Honeybot. Link Spider's cool too, but he only has 1 zone onto him, but it does let you extend plays. Anyway, we should be talking about the entire deck that came in. The deck, I have all the cards here? Yeah, it came out with 5 new cards, and it came with a bunch of other cards as well. A bunch of good cards, if I do say so myself. This is actually a pretty good. As you see, we get Sangam, Mystical Space Typhoon. I bought 2 of the Link Structure decks, so I combined them together. You get a good amount of cards, a good amount of staples like Bottomless Trap Hole. You get Mill Forces. You get Call the Hunters. You get Compulsors. You get Terraforms. You get Phoenix Chains. You get Forbidden Lances, for God's sake. Photon Thrashers. Effect Veilers, Jaw of Avarices. You get some pretty good cards in this starter deck. Probably one of the best starter decks with staples in it. I would definitely recommend basically anyone to get this. But the main thing we should talk about is these new monsters, which I think are like the key and this new spell, which are the key counterpart of this deck. First things first is Link Slayer, who, if you control no monsters, you can special summon him from your hand. It doesn't matter which. And he has a cool effect where you can discard a card to destroy 2 spells and traps that your opponent controls. So he's pretty easy. So he's a good first turn starter or a comeback starter, so you can summon him out and then bring out your other guys, and then you can start link summoning again. Another good card that we got is Vamclouder, who you contribute a monster, including himself, to special summon a cyber monster from your graveyard. It's good recovery options. Probably only a 2 of if you just want to make a deck out of this Link Starter deck. 2 other good cards together is Drag Connect, which allows you to, when seen normal summon, special summon a normal monster level 2 or lower from your hand or your deck. So you want to be bringing out Biton. This allows you to bring out make Link Spider, and if you have another Biton in your hand, you can bring Link Spider, allows you to special summon him, so then you can make Honeybot. Because Honeybot needs 2 Cybers monsters, and all these new monsters that came out are Cybers monsters. I like these guys, especially Link Slayer. Ramcloud's probably not my favorite. It is 1800, and it does let you bring back Cybers monsters to Link Summon, but I'm pretty sure we'll get better support in the Code of the Duelist. We also got this cool field spell just for links. Excuse me. First effect. All link monsters you control gain 300 attack, which is pretty nice because Decode Talker only has 23, Link Spider only has 1,000, and Honeybot only has 19. Second effect. Let's hit focus. Come on, phone, focus. Once per turn, you can target a monster in your graveyard and shuffle them back into the deck. It allows you to put your guides that you need back into the deck. It also applies to any monsters. So if you want, in this deck, in the starter deck, it comes with Effect Veilers. So you can recycle Effect Veilers, you can recycle Marauding Captains, you can recycle Sangans. The final effect is that if once it's destroyed by a card effect, any card effect, since all monsters in the extra monster zone to the graveyard. So, because of that, you can destroy your opponent's link monster if they destroy it, or if you destroy it, either way. But unfortunately, it also destroys your own. But yeah, those are like the big key cards that came in this starter deck, and I would definitely recommend getting this. As for my opinions on link monsters themselves, I always have an open mind about new summoning mechanics. I know a bunch of people, well, mainly on the internet, just saying that, oh, link monsters are like the worst thing ever. Pendulum, I know I saw one comment on this YouTube video say that Pendulum monsters killed Yu-Gi-Oh! And now link monsters are going to bury it, but I don't believe that because I think Pendulums were a pretty good addition. I know that's an unpopular opinion, but I think it was a pretty good addition to Yu-Gi-Oh! And I think link monsters is something that will definitely really affects Yu-Gi-Oh! With all the new rule changes, and will slow down some decks. But unfortunately, until the I guess we'll segue into meta talk for right now. Zodiacs and True Jankos don't really care about links. Zoo will still be able to do all its shenanigans since I forgot to mention this, but any exotic monster that was properly summoned that's sent to the graveyard, if you special summon it, you can summon it into the main monster zone and don't have to worry about already having a link monster out. So Zoo can still do all of its shenanigans and stuff, so it can bring out its Dryden and its Hammer Kong, and it won't really care about the new links. I don't really see links doing much until the ban list finally comes out. Not sure when it's coming out, and hit Zoo and True Dracos. I don't think links will be doing much, and its new archetypes are coming out in Code of the Duelist. If you haven't seen the new archetypes that are coming out in Code of the Duelist, I would recommend it, because there are some pretty cool archetypes coming out in that. But that's going off topic. We should be really talking about links. I think links are a good addition to the game. It gives more variety, and of course in Yu-Gi-Oh! You have to adapt, or you're not. You can duel all you want with your friends, but if you want to be competitive and want to continue playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitive, you have to adapt, or you're not gonna do good. You always have to keep an open mind for these mechanics, because some people, the same thing happened with the Synchros, Xyz. Basically, anytime a new summoning mechanic gets introduced, people always start hating on it. It should really be, look at Synchros. A lot of people said, oh, I'm going to quit when Synchros come out. Synchro monsters are pretty good. Xyz came out, people was like, oh, I'm going to quit when Xyz come out. And Xyz monsters are like the best monsters in the game. I personally think, as my personal opinion, Xyz monsters are the best summoning, is basically the best summoning mechanic in the entire game. There's so many Xyz monsters, and a lot of the best ones are generic. Like Utopia the Lightning, and Castell, and Dark Cabana Xyz Dragon, and what's another good? Tornado Dragon, I think. It's generic. Yeah, lots of good generic Xyz monsters that any deck can make, really. Pendulum monsters, I think, did what it needed to do, but a lot of cards came out a ton of cards came out that were anti-Pendulum. Pendulum just really had a hard time trying to steamroll up. Basically, the strongest Pendulum deck that was out there was like Cleafort and Full Power, Perform Mage. I think people called it Pepe. I know that Metaphors did pretty good, and Magic Spectres is good for a while. And Draco Sales was also a pretty good one, but Draco Sales is more of an engine. A lot of Pendulum's decks basically just became second fiddle to the top decks, which didn't really need Pendulums. And I think the same thing will happen to I hope that doesn't happen, but I think the same thing might happen to Link monsters themselves. what? Oh crap! I'm blanking here. Because what I've seen in the code release, I haven't looked at all the cards, but there are two archetypes that I've seen that actually use links, and one of them seems pretty complicated and it involves normal monsters and stuff like that. I think it's called World Chalice, or I think it was originally called Star Chalice, and then the other one's Goki, which is World Chalice is for the advanced players and Goki is for like the beginning players. I think there would be good additions to links, but I'm not sure how they would do against Zoo and True Dracos until they get hit. I know, yeah. I think Link monsters are pretty cool. One gripe that I have about Link monsters is that they're blue just like ritual monsters, and even though they do have an hexagonal pattern, I just wish that they picked a different color other than blue, because rituals were known for being blue, and I don't know if you know this, but I love ritual monsters, and ritual monsters really need some more love. They really need some good support. Basically, the best ritual deck ever was Necros, and look at it now. It can still do good, but there's not a lot of really good rituals. So, I'm going off on tangents again. Why am I talking about rituals with links? But yeah, links, I think they are, as I said before, they are just what the game needed. But unfortunately, they won't really do anything until Zoo and True Dracos get hit. That's basically my thoughts on links and my thoughts on the structure deck. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about links, whether you like them or you hate them. And just everything you think you can do. I know that I will be trying my best to use links. Unfortunately, these two I can't use in the deck that I want. I'm using them in my circus deck. Once I get more cards, as you saw, I got new cards for my circus deck, but I won't be making a deck profile about it until I get more new cards, and then I think I want to get another Decode Talker, or until I get more generic pendulum link stuff to add into it, because what was it? Because I know if pendulum monster is used as a link material, it still goes to the X deck, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I will be trying to use these guys. I will try and use my circus deck in the upcoming, with the upcoming links and the veins era. But of course, I will be trying. I did make a deck, as you guys saw, with the starter deck, so I will be using that for a while. I will make a deck profile about it, because you guys already know what. If you can just look up what's in the starter deck, and it's not really any surprise. It's okay. You can make an okay deck out of it, but just for casual fun, I will be trying out some new archetypes coming out in Cold Duelist. Goki, which is, as I said, one of the link archetypes, which is a simple beatdown link deck that has a lesson motif to it. Excuse me. But the archetype I will be trying out is this new zombie archetype, which has to do with rituals. Excuse me again. Sorry about that. But that's what I'm mainly be trying to build. Yeah. That's everything. I think that's basically everything I wanted to talk about links and other stuff. Yeah, I can't wait for more link support to come out, because I really love the look of these link monsters, especially Cybers. Once more Cyber stuff coming out, I would definitely be making a Cybers type deck, because I just love how they all look. They are digital stuff, and like they look like warriors. I know the mainly because I always try. I don't know why, but personally for me, I always like make the. if I like the protagonist or any character in the show, I always try to make their deck. That's why I made the Circus deck, because I really like Yuya. So I'll be trying to make a Cyber deck because I like Yusako. He's a completely different kind of main character. I'll probably be making a video discussing about Veins itself, and probably talking about the anime itself, because I mainly watch the anime, and that's how I mainly get my source of Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm not really a competitive duelist, but I am trying to become more competitive and stuff. Yeah, I'm mainly just a casual duelist, which is why I make weird decks. So I'll be trying to make a Cybers deck because I think they're super cool. They look like other monsters, but they aren't. Like, he looks like he would be a warrior, but he's a cybernetic, but he's like Cybers. He's from the internet and stuff like that. Like a bunch of these guys, he looks like he's a beast, but he's a Cybers. He looks like he could be a dragon, but he's an internet dragon. I think they're an overall cool concept for a type, way better than worms. I don't know what Konami was thinking with worms. They basically make they make stuff that could have been dragons, but they made it worms because they didn't want dragons to get more stuff, I guess. Anyway, that should be it for everything I wanted to talk about with links and future meta and stuff. And, well, yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like down below if you did. Comment down what you guys think about links and the future meta stuff. Also, comment down below, like, archetypes that are coming out in Code of Duelist that you're looking forward to, or just cards in general you're looking forward to in Code of Duelist. Also, keep an eye out because I'll be making a update to my Circus deck because I've just got new cards for it, so I'll be making an update to it. Link ready update to it. But yeah, that should be it. I've been Eric. Hope you guys enjoyed this. See you guys in the next video. Bye bye.